everyone, it's Cassidy and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a new reading vlog. I don't know what I'm actually going to call this because I don't know if I'm going to read every one of his books or just all the ones that I own, but I'm going to be reading a bunch of Peter Swanson books. I'm going to interrupt very early on in this video. This is future me. This is much better lighting me. I know the lighting in this beginning part is really bad, but it will get better as the video goes on because I've moved and everything's changed. This video has taken me a really long time to make and then edit, which shouldn't have taken me as long as it did, but it did. But it's out now. I hope you enjoy it. This is part of my author rewind series that I have on my channel. I've only also done Taylor Jenkins Reid for this. Comment down below other authors you want me to do for this series where I read a bunch of their backlists. That's all. I just want to warn you that the lighting is bad, but it does get better. So stick through it. Thank you for watching. I guess that would have been like 2 years now. 2 years ago, I read 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson, which I really enjoyed. And this was during the time that I was just getting back into reading, and I quite liked it. Just kind of continued buying his books, and I haven't read anymore. I have 4 more on my shelves on my TBR, so I wanted to start reading his books. I don't own The Kind Worth Killing, which I really want to read, so I'll probably buy it for this video, I think. But I'm starting off with Her Every Fear by Peter Swanson, obviously. I am about 100 pages in, and I'm really enjoying it. I'll tell you what it's about in a moment. I also own Before She Knew Him, which is about a couple who meet the couple next door and start to become friends with each other. The wife ends up recognizing something in their house that has something to do with an unsolved murder, so she thinks that the husband of the couple next door is the murderer. Then I have Every Value Break by Peter Swanson. I don't know why I feel like I have to say it, which is one of his more recent releases. I think it came out in 2021. This one's about a couple that are getting married. The wife ends up having a one-night stand at her bachelorette before they get married, and she's like, okay, whatever, it happened, but now I'm ready to get married. And then on their honeymoon, the man that she had the one-night stand with ends up showing up, and he's a little weird. He insists that they're made for each other and supposed to be together. And then she sees a terrified woman in the shadows one night, and no one at the resort seems to believe anything is amiss, including her perfect new husband. And the last one that I own currently is 9 Lives. There's like a list of people, seems like random names, and they're starting to get killed off, and no one really seems to know why and what their connection is. And one of the people on the list is FBI agent Jessica Winslow. She's trying to figure out why they're all on this list and why they're getting murdered. And then The Kind Worth Killing is about these people that meet at an airport, and they like plot to kill the girl's husband or something like that. I could be wrong, but I think that's around what it's kind of about, and I've heard absolutely incredible things about it, and I don't know why I don't own it still, because I keep buying books, so I might as well read one, or buy one that I actually really want to read like that. Go over what I'm reading first and currently. So Her Every Fear follows Kate, and she is doing an apartment swap with her cousin that she had never met. So she's from London and he's in Boston, so they switch. She's in Boston now, and she's got some past traumas that are kind of haunting her still. She's got extreme anxiety. I think that's gonna play a really big part in this book and in this story. Anyways, they switch apartments, and as soon as she kind of gets there, they find out that this young woman, kind of her neighbor, it's like a really wealthy apartment building, like condos, like they're huge. The girl next door to her has been murdered. Right now they just say a suspicious death, but like, so she's met a few people. One is Alan, and he is another person in the apartment building, and he's got some secrets to do with the girl that's been murdered. Her cousin has some secrets with the girl that's been murdered, and we just met this other guy who says he's friends with the girl that's been murdered, but I have suspicions about him. So there's all these, and Kate's kind of attracted to this guy that lives in the building. But I'm enjoying it so far, and I will talk to you maybe when I'm halfway through this or finished it. It's a few days later, and I thought I would just do a little update on this. I'm past halfway. I am enjoying this so far. I really don't know what the twist is going to be because it seems rather obvious what happened. Peter Swanson is making it very obvious, like basically explicitly saying what happened, but only some of the characters in here know that, and I think I already know one of the twists, but I also think it's kind of obvious, but I don't know if it's like he's trying to make it obvious or what. We've gotten chunks from the main character Kate. She was like the first part, and then there's a man living in the building that she traded with, that she's staying in, her cousin's building, named Alan, and we got a chunk from him. He's low-key creepy. Her cousin we got a big chunk from. He's low-key, not low-key creepy, creepy, he's got problems. And then the other men in this are also creepy and have problems. And low-key, this is kind of a creepy book. I'm not even gonna lie, like it's given me, there's been a few scenes where I'm like checking over my shoulder, like that's kind of creepy. I'm quite enjoying this. It's not like it's a 5-star read, but solid 4-star at the moment, and I guess we'll just see what happens. I quite enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4-star. I thought it was quite good. I think from what I remember about what is it called? Yeah, A Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson, I think I would give it a 4-star as well. This book actually scared me, so I would not consider this that much of a mystery and not a thriller, because probably 40% in, we kind of know who did it. It doesn't like flat out say it, but it basically says it, and the rest of it is more suspense. And normally I don't think I would like that, but this book freaked me out enough that it was still good. The only thing, well, the big thing that I didn't super like is that there's multiple perspectives, which I normally really like, and normally multiple perspectives, they like build off of each other. We stop with one and then we move on to the next scene with the next one. This one, instead, we see the same things or same scenes from almost each person's point of view, or we see it from multiple people's point of view. Sometimes that was good, sometimes they added new things to the scene and new whatever, and then sometimes it was like really boring and just repeating the same thing over again, so that wasn't super fun. That was probably my least favorite part of this. But yeah, I would recommend checking it out if you like a little bit of a creepy thing. Would I ever reread this? No, because it scares me, but hello, long time no see. For you, it's been 1 second. For me, I think it's been 6 months. So I think it's been a while. I'm finally getting another book into this vlog. This is the one that I'm most excited about. I just read the first page when I was waiting on hold for something, and I'm already gripped. So I'm definitely reading this month and reading it as my first read. So that is The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. This is the Peter Swanson. I think this is everyone's favorite book by him. When I was just getting back into reading, not really watching BookTube, just like every once in a while finding a random book video, I heard about this as a good mystery thriller. It's also only a couple pages over 300 pages, so quick book. I just wanted to say hi, and then I'm here, and then I'm finally continuing on with this vlog. I believe the synopsis for this is 2 people meet at an airport bar and they get talking about life and the issues and stuff that you probably wouldn't normally say to a stranger. It's a female and a male, and the guy ends up half jokingly but half seriously saying that he would like to kill his wife, and the girl says she would like to help him. And that's all I know going into this. And I think that's all I'm gonna leave it at. We don't want to know that much, because there's even more underneath that part of the blurb. I just read this top part and that was good enough to hook me. And I am officially halfway through The Kind Worth Killing. I am on page 164. And let me just say, I was not expecting the end of part 1, beginning of part 2. Was not expecting it at all, so I'm really intrigued to see what happens in this second half. We get perspectives from both Ted and from Lily, and we go back in their past. Lily, we go back to her childhood, whereas Ted, we just go back to like when he met his wife, or we'll get little flashbacks of them together back at the airport or on the plane. But where I'm at and what happened at the end of part 1 and beginning of part 2, I cannot tell you. That's huge spoilers. I think I partly know how this is there's another book after this. Partly. Just because I saw the name of the series, because it's attached to this on Goodreads. I didn't look for it, but when I put currently reading this, it was beside the title. I'm really enjoying this, and that plot twist was great, so I'm really interested to see what happens in the next half. It's pretty addicting, so I don't see it taking me much longer unless the second half sucks. But I'm getting the hype for this and like why it has been like people's favorite thriller mysteries. Very good so far, and it's definitely, as of right now, my favorite Peter Swanson that I've read. I finished The Kind Worth Killing this morning, so let's talk about it. I really enjoyed the first part. Like, I thought the first part was the strongest, and then the beginning of the second part was really good because the ending of the first part was really good. You get perspectives from different people in part 2 and part 3. There's additions to the POVs. And in the second part, the person that they add, I thought I was gonna enjoy, but it really was just kind of boring. There was like a couple chapters of this person's perspective that was interesting, but for the most part, it was pretty boring, and I really just didn't like the character. And I know I say I don't have to like the character to enjoy a book, but this was different. Like, they weren't interesting either. Like, at least with the people that the characters that I don't like, they usually have an interesting aspect to them, but I didn't find this character interesting or intriguing at all. So that was something holding me back. And so I did do another reading challenge during reading this, so I did put this down for like 2 days. But then I found it really hard to pick back up because it wasn't as interesting. I was also busier and like tired. But this wasn't holding my attention like it was in the first part. The third part was a little bit better. Or maybe I think the end of part 2 and then the beginning of part 3 was decent. And then the ending was really interesting. It was just like the in-betweens that I didn't find very interesting. But I see now why there's a second book. Actually, I'm gonna read the Goodreads synopsis of it. That was not what I was expecting for that synopsis. I'll probably get to it eventually, but I don't know that I'm in a super hurry just based off of that synopsis. The ending of this, I was like, ooh, I'm interested. But that synopsis, it's a whole another story, maybe kind of related to this. I don't know, like the first part of this, I thought this was gonna be a 5-star. Now it's like a 4, maybe like a 3.5, 3.75. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed, but like the parts that I liked, I really liked, but the parts that I didn't, I found quite boring. So I'll probably go with a 4 because I feel like the parts that I really liked were a 5 and the parts that I didn't were like a 3. So I think that's a good compromise. Did I like this more than Her Every Fear? I don't know, I feel like they're pretty similar. Again, when starting this, I thought I was gonna love this more than Her Every Fear, but pretty similar. So I think I'm going to read one more book in this vlog, have it 3 books, and then maybe do a part 2 and do the other 2 that I own and the sequel to this in the future. I'm glad I finally read this, and I get why people enjoy it, but there were some lulls for me, for sure. I don't remember 8 Perfect Murders enough to compare it to the other 2 that I read, like the 2 that I read in this vlog. I enjoyed it, but like that was before I was really rating stuff and all that, so it's probably on the same level as these, but I couldn't say for sure. But I will see you in a bit whenever I get another one of his books on my TBR. Hello you guys, it's been a while since I've talked to you, technically a few months for me. Oops. This vlog I think has officially taken me a year to film, so I know that the beginning of it is extra rough. Not saying I'm like an incredible booktuber now, but like I feel like it's worse at the beginning. So I'm finally reading the last book for this vlog, so yay. That is Before She Knew Him by Peter Swanson. Obviously that's what this whole vlog is about. I am 88 pages into it, so I thought I should let you know that I'm reading it and what it's about. We have our first couple who are Hen and Lloyd. Hen is our main character. They kind of recently moved into the neighborhood, now are just getting acquainted with neighbors. They go to this party and they meet this other couple, Matthew and Myra, or Mira, I'm not sure which way it's pronounced. They meet each other and then they decide to go and have dinner together as couples, and so Hen and Lloyd go over to Matthew and I'm gonna say Myra because it's an I, but it could be Mira. They go over to their house, have dinner, they get a tour of the house, and when they're in Matthew's study or like office, Hen clocks, she sees a trophy, a fencing trophy, which brings back instant memories of a unsolved murder that she was obsessed with, where the police think the murderer took that trophy from the victim. So now she's going down the rabbit hole thinking that her neighbor could be a murderer, because this specific case she was quite obsessed with for a period of time when it was happening. Our main character, Hen, is bipolar, so there is that aspect of it. I'm kind of nervous. I'm scared, I just saw a spoiler. I'm kind of nervous about how mental health is going to be used in this. When she was obsessed with this case originally, she ended up going through kind of an episode after that, so she does kind of bring up what she's seen to her husband, and her husband's like, I'm a little bit worried about you. So that's mostly what it's been. She also had like a violent outburst in college, so I'm a little scared. I don't want them to be like, you know, I think there are maybe some few times that mental health can be used as a plot device, but it's really tricky. So we'll see. But I'm really enjoying it so far, and it's really reading fast. There are 3 parts to it technically. It's only just over 300 pages, like 310 or something. So it shouldn't be too long. I'll probably check in with you. Part 2 starts on page 159, so maybe I'll let you know when I'm there and then wrap it up. Oh, actually, the one thing that I'm not liking about it so far is Peter Swanson keeps repeating things. Little details that have, and it's bothering me for some reason. Like, I just heard that detail. I don't need to hear it again. I can't remember the examples of that, but there was a few instances where it happened. It didn't just happen once. So that was bothering me, but like, I'll survive. But it was a little annoying. So it's dark in here, but I kind of feel like it matches the mood of this book. I figured I probably should come and talk to you because I'm currently almost done this book. I'm on page 2:33. I'm on part 3. I told you I was gonna update you when I got to part 2, but I was just reading and I was not stopping. Then I finally decided to stop at part 3, but I actually might read a little bit more tonight before I go to bed. But I'm really enjoying this. Since I'm going to talk about it soon with my ending thoughts, I don't want to say too much. I'm enjoying it. It's been a really quick read, as I said before, but even more so now. And like, I am excited to finish it. I'm excited to see how everything pans out. My dislike for the repetitiveness in some of the writing is still there. Like, I will read something and I'm like, did I not just read that paragraph? Pretty, not the exact same, but like, these people are having conversations and they're saying the same thing in one conversation over again. So I'm like, is it me or is that actually what happened? But it's actually what happened. So to this point, I am not hating how they're using, or how he's using mental health and bipolar disorder. We'll see if that changes in the last part. This isn't really the exact book that I thought it was gonna be. She knows it's him really quickly, and he knows that she knows really quickly, or like he's pretty sure that she knows. It's really not moved on, but grown from the plot that is mentioned on the back. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this tomorrow for sure. I have like 70, less than 80 pages left, I think. Hello, it is the next day. My makeup is like coming off my face, so sorry I look like this. But I finished Before She Knew Him. I was gonna finish it this morning as soon as I woke up. Sorry, I feel like I sound congested, but I don't know. Anyway, I just finished it. So let's talk about it. For the most part, I really enjoyed this. It was really fast paced and I was really excited to like see how it would conclude. And a lot of the stuff is on the table pretty early on in the book, so that's why it was intriguing to see what would happen. But I really did not like the twist, and I can't say why I didn't like the twist, because obviously it's the twist, and so obviously it is a spoiler. It was just disappointing that that was the twist, and yeah. Because I was enjoying it. And I would have given this probably a 4, maybe 4.5. I don't know. But that brought it down to like a 3, maybe a 2.5. I know that's like a lot, but it's just something that I don't like. And a lot of people don't like. And maybe it should have been obvious, but I also think I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be that. So I was not seeing it. I have seen this twist before. That's why I feel like I should have seen it coming, because I've seen it before. Yeah, so that was disappointing because this was really leading towards a good rating. But unfortunately, it just was not great at the end. For most of this book, Hen's mental illness, people just not wanting to believe her, or like people doubting her specifically because she's been diagnosed as bipolar. That's what happens in real life. It's too bad that was how it ended. The title was in like the last 2 pages, and I did like that part. And there was a little bit of like a tiny twist in the last couple pages. But I'm gonna give this like a 3, maybe like a 2.5. So, disappointing. Let's flash forward to not 300 awkward blind dates later, but a year later. This vlog is a roller coaster. I started it, I'm not even joking. I wish I was joking when I say I started this in June of 2022. So that's why the lighting at the beginning is not as great. My old bedroom did not have good lighting, and I apparently just did not use my ring light. I don't know. So I think it took me until March of 2023 to read a second book for this vlog. July or August of 2023 to read the third book for this vlog. And you might be looking at the date and say, oh, it's February of 2024. Yeah, I just never edited this vlog. But I did read 3 books for this vlog, and this is a vlog that I think I want to do a part 2 to. So I did want to post this. So hopefully you still enjoyed it. Since I read these books so long ago, I don't fully remember everything that happens in each of these books. But I know that my favorite was either Her Every Fear or The Kind Worth Killing, but I think Her Every Fear might have been above just a little bit than The Kind Worth Killing, and then last Before She Knew Him, because I did not like the twist. And I forgot what the twist even was, so I looked up, when I was editing this, I looked up the plot. And I remembered, once I read the one word, I remembered, and I hated that ending. That's my ranking so far, but as I said, I would like to do a part 2 to this. I own 2 other ones of his books. Her Every Vow, Their Every Vow, something about Every Vow, and then also 9 Lives. But then I would also like to read the sequel to The Kind Worth Killing. So if you want to see a part 2 from this, that hopefully will not take me 2 years to film, let me know in the comments down below. I know he's like a really popular author, so I feel like he's like a good one to do it on and see if his books are worth it. I'd say it's kind of 50-50 right now, so I think a part 2 is really good to see if I'm gonna continue to buy his books, if I think you should continue to buy his books. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but you know. But if you did like this video, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both those would mean the absolute world to me. This is a part of my author rewind series, so if you want to see this video from other authors, comment down below who else you think I should do this with, and name some books you think I should read from them, because I don't know who else I want to do this on. That's all from me, so I will see you in my next video. Bye!